shorter ones. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Bedford High School.
Wow, check, 1, 2. Hey, welcome into Bedford High School this evening in Bedford, New Hampshire for Division I lacrosse action. Excited to bring you the broadcast this evening between the Bedford Bulldogs and the visiting Bishop Girton Cardinals. I'm Corey Munster Tiger, joined here by Brian Hubert and Roger Howe on the call tonight.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Should be a really good tilt tonight.
Hey, we're here.
We are. We're here.
Made it.
We're here. So starting lineups are going to be addressed right now. We'll have the anthem. Roger, from your experience the other day, seeing Bedford take on Souhegan on Saturday, and then earlier today you were also at Pinkerton.
Yeah.
Versus Exeter over in Exeter.
Yeah.
You saw a couple of pretty good lacrosse games, and now we're going to see another one here tonight. What are the keys to the game, in your opinion?
Well, one of the things that you'd like to say about any team that comes in as an underdog is that they want to be able to possess the ball and kind of just slow the pace down and start off in a perimeter game and then kind of morph into your sets or your plays. I don't think that's going to happen tonight. BG is one of those teams. They are so dominant with the talent they have on defense. They're going to immediately press out. They are going to force Bedford to move the ball, make mistake-free passes, run mistake-free when they actually have the ball in their possession, and BG's just too strong for that. So that's going to be a big key. If they can start to do that and control the ball, play as mistake-free as they possibly can, and possess the ball, they can't score if they don't have the ball. And that's how I see it right now. I think they're going to have to just do what they can to suppress Murphy as best they can at the face-off X. If Murphy dominates, as he had traditionally done all season long, they just got to belly up with him and try to get the ball back immediately before they can start their offense.
Yeah, that's gonna be a tough one here. I mean, I think that the face-off game is so important here. But to your point, Bedford has two options. If they're going to play the run and gun game that BG really wants to play, or they're going to play the slow down game, in which case they're going to try to take possession away from BG as much as possible. Keep the ball out of their sticks. That alleviates any sort of possibility for them to run up the score here.
We saw these two teams face off earlier this year. First game was down in Nashua. Second game was up here in Bedford. Both tilts went to BG, and the scores were very similar, 16-4 and 16-6. So, again, that speaks to what you were talking about, Roger. Very skilled team, very athletic, quick, well coached. It's a tough task for the Bulldogs tonight here, but, again, if they get a couple of goals early on and they can set the tone and really clean up their passes, keep everything sharp, they could make this a game.
Well, one of the things in that very first game at Stella Stadium with the Bulldogs is that could have been a very much closer game. This kid, Brady Dumont, that came off the bench in the early part of the second quarter, freshman, really the only dominant freshman that I would consider him a pseudo starter because he comes in off the bench very quickly. He had 6 goals in that first game, and they just simply could not shut him down. This is one of the keys to the Bishop Girton success, is that they can plug and play literally anywhere with their starting 10, and they can be just as effective 2-3 rosters down the line and come at you from all sides.
Great. Thank you, Roger. Thank you, Brian. We're going to take a quick break here as we have the national anthem, and we'll rejoin you in a moment.
All right,
So
ready for some action here.
We join you back here at Bedford High School, getting ready for face-off here. Roger, you touched on the face-off X. We'll see a very talented James Murphy at the Fogo position for the Bishop Girton Cardinals. That's face-off, get-off, as many in the lacrosse community know. They face off, get possession of the ball, pass it to one of their midfield teammates, and then quickly escort themselves off of the field for a more talented offensive. That position has become a crucial aspect of the men's lacrosse game.
It absolutely has, Corey. And you know, over the past couple of years, I think the lacrosse community has understood that perhaps a motorcycle grip, in which case both fists are facing the ground, that actually gives some of the players an advantage. So we've actually gone from that to another grip, a more traditional grip, in which case one hand is underneath the other hand, and it actually makes for a more 50-50 ball for the face-off. So that means a 50-50 ball with both midfielders able to fight for the ball itself. But here we go. We're ready to go. Good tilt up ahead.
Yeah, that motorcycle grip was seen as such an advantage that they've now outlawed it. So Enders picks up the ground ball off of the opening face. Looked like it was going Murphy's way, but Enders got back on the defensive end, picks up the ground ball, gets it up to Maniello. Max Maniello to Connor Arbusto. And the Bulldogs will settle things down with Derek Greer behind.
Yeah, I think that's the only way they're going to be able to control the X is if they can bottle up Murphy a little bit right after he gets the clamp and rakes it out. Otherwise, he could just dominate all day long.
It's a story we'll watch throughout the game. Curious if they even potentially move to a long stick at face-off. Put them right at the X, and in some case they can stand up and just start hacking away. So Maniello will dodge left. Back to Magnus Steele. Steele shot. Eaten up.
I like to see a better shot placement there.
Yeah,
I'd like to see maybe move
the
the ball around a little bit more.
There's a good check from behind.
Stick side high there for Lorendo. Aiden Lorendo.
Bedford ball. Oh,
no,
sorry.
No
Bishop
BG
ball.
there, but that's what you need to do with Sullivan when he's coming down the alley. He is a scoring threat. I think he's got 8 goals on the season this year. And if you can trail check him and get the ball out, bottle things up, then you can slow this fast break down very quickly.
So back up top to McGovern. McGovern. Quick fake. Shot there is blocked. Chris Heitmiller went for a time and space shot, but a defender got the stick in the way.
Heitmiller just committed to Riviere, and his brother, who's been at Franklin Pierce, just transferred to Riviere.
Defender gets tangled there on McGovern. Back up top to Clark. His shot very wide.
I would call that a pass.
I might too. I think a stick got in there, maybe.
You play defense too?
It high. And back up top to McGovern again. He sweeps right, looks for the pick, gets a step, dishes behind, quickly around the horn. Shot saved there by Desmond. Good step to his offside high and makes a nice save on that first shot there. But then he chucks it up the field. And that's a quick turnover as Matthew Cranny picks that clearing pass off.
Let's hope that the Gilman is not their clearing strategy for today.
It hasn't been this season, but maybe he felt like he was in a little bit of a desperate situation there.
Now, I will tell you, this is, I think, the 6th or 7th game I've done this year.
Kylie's shot.
BG, and they do not just stand still. When ball transitions, they find a man, they bottle up a lot of things on the ride, and they do it quickly.
Michael Kylie's shot went off the crossbar, so Desmond got a little help from his friend.
Far side.
Back up to Kylie.
I think with some of these early shots, I'd really like to see a high to low or over the top.
Sure.
A lot of these kids nowadays, they tend to do sidearm, which doesn't help anybody.
Changing the level. Outside there.
See if they get a good
Krikorian,
clear here.
Krikorian tried to stuff it on a drive from behind, but his shot came outside. And the clear by Henrishon, Parker Henrishon.
Yeah, no
runs
help on
into
that
trouble. Yeah, he didn't really get much help there, and
Yeah.
the ride forced him out of bounds on the far side right at the substitution box.
Yeah, one of the things BG does on their clear as well is that their attackmen do not retreat. They come up and they greet the ball. They come up out of the box and they help, where Bedford didn't get any help from their attackmen at all there. It's going to be a big factor if they can't do that.
Yeah, it's a great point. A lot of teams nowadays, unfortunately, the riding is, just doesn't get taught very well. But hey, that's half of the defense right there is riding before the 50-yard line. It's so important. BG obviously put a lot of work into putting that into their team.
So Declan Wilkie works from behind. Checked there by Parker Henrishon. Roll dodge back to the middle. He gives it up top to Connor Gabord. Now Connor Bouvier. Lefty shot will go. Tough shot there on the run. Opposite side. So it's a tough save for Matt Desmond. And the Cardinals go up 1-0.
Low offhand side. Great ball placement. And he did go over the top on that one. He wasn't going sidearm.
Yeah, so talk to me about that. Go over the top. What do you mean?
So sidearm and underarm, that really kind of gets you into a bad situation as far as a shooter. The best thing that you can do is go right over the top, almost like a baseball throw. It alleviates or it gives you a lot of non-confusion for the goalie or confusion for the goalie. But it betters your ankle as a shooter.
Betters your angle, changes plane of the shot too, right?
Excellent.
You're starting high and going low. So meanwhile, there's a procedure call on Murphy, so the Bulldogs will get the ensuing possession.
Yeah, let's not take away from Connor on that shot. I mean, offside, low corner, away from Desmond's strong side. That was great placement. It looked like it was almost in slow motion from this side.
Great placement. Oh, that's a great throw.
Amazing play right there. Individual effort as Derek Greer makes two dodges from behind and finds Max Maniello sitting on the crease. So they come back and quickly tie it as Greer made a great individual effort to get through two defenders from behind. And Max Maniello was sitting open on the doorstep, and he's able to beat Zach Connerty.
That's, 7 assists in 2 games, actually 5 quarters for Derek Green.
Yeah, Derek Greer, he had 2 goals and 6 assists on Saturday. And now we get a pinwheel check. The defender in me loves to see that as Enners made a great check. We call it a pinwheel as the stick fluttered through the air, resembling a pinwheel. But now we have an open shot on the backside, and Dawson Clark sticks it high to quickly go back up by 1 for the Cardinals.
Yeah, I would say, the tenacity of BG to get after loose balls really pays off right there. If Bedford clears that ball cleanly, there's nothing in the middle that would have stopped them to get towards the box, but they got to control those scrums.
And I think that's going to be the factor today. Again, when I talked about 50-50 balls, each team has 50% chance of getting the ball here. And I really think that that's where Bedford is going to win the game if they can do that. But if BG just continues to get the ground balls, it's going to be a dominating day.
Murphy with the face-off win. Dishes to Xander Dunsmore. And the Cardinals settle things down. So that last shot there by Dawson Clark, he did change plans. He started low and pulled it high right above Desmond's head. So pointing back to what Hubie was saying earlier about changing planes. And Gabord with a righty charge down that sideline. Powered through some checks, and he finishes offside.
Yeah, that's a great righty, high to low, going down the alley. Great job by BG.
Yeah, so Connor Gabord with his first of the evening ran through the check, didn't draw the double, or if it did come, came a little bit too slowly. So he had an open shot there and took it. Now Roberto got control of the faceoff, but again, that ride for the Cardinals gains control.
You're just tenacious, Corey. They just do not let up for a single second on any part of the field.
Bedford's got to take care of the ball on that one. They're getting the ground ball they have to protect it.
Kylie now behind, guarded by Brady Burke. Up top now to McGovern. He draws the pull of Enners, but they work it back behind. John Krikorian drives lefty, low to high. Good check there.
Great check. Good on the hands.
Got to stick through the window. We call the window where the two hands and the stick create that window between the arms. The defenders like to get their stick in between there. Causes all kinds of problems for the short sticks.
Where's this slide?
There it comes.
Yeah.
Joe Michael comes across with the help defense. McGovern now goes lefty. Good check there by Andrew McGee.
Thought Bedford slid really well in the Sauhegan game, Corey.
Here again, they came early.
Yeah.
Got the ball on the ground. And now it's up to them to get it up and out. But you're right, those slides are coming really early on those dodges from the midfield.
All right, let's see what they can do here.
So back to the clear. Here's the key moment for them.
Green jerseys everywhere. Nobody's cutting to the ball, though.
And they turn it over again.
I think a good strategy if I was the Bedford coach here is, if I get the ball with any of my long sticks, just run it up the field. That's got to be the strategy now because BG is all over them as far as riding.
Sure. Look up. Get it to one of your cutting midfielders. Get them to run through a couple people.
We call that a big boy clear.
That's a big boy clear, all right.
And we saw Riley Lawhorn do that for Sauhegan several times this past Saturday. And he was doing it all season long. It's nice to have that tool in your toolbox.
I have to say the early slides are certainly helping their defense.
Yeah, I'm very impressed with the Bedford defense right now. The sliding is on point. I feel like the conversation and the talking is good. I can hear the goalie from here, which is what's the most important thing on defense?
Communication, sir.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, and they're getting late checks too when they're getting ready to fire. That although there was a crease violation there, the shot went way wide because they got a nice late check on the release.
Look at this. You got three men on one.
There you go. That's what you need, the cutter, right? They stacked up three. They had their attack and an off ride.
It's Will Kramer with a great cut right there for the clear.
We'll take a nice long possession here, won't we, guys?
And Arbusto is going to do just that as he backs out. He draws Xander Dunsmore, the short stick. So this is a matchup that an attackman might like here. He gives it up, but he might get it back pretty quickly. And there it goes.
It's a good time for Arbusto.
3 minutes to go here in the first quarter. The Cardinals lead 3-1.
Anytime we can get Arbusto with a shorty, let's see what we can do with this.
That's great defense. Great defense.
Good cover.
A couple of cross checks look like they might have been up in his head, but probably low enough to not draw a flag. They work it back around. Now Magnus Steele will square up. Rolls back to his right. Draws a triple team, as you mentioned, Roger. And that ball gets on the ground and is quickly scooped up by John Sullivan.
Oh,
good
great
check
ride
there by Steele. Got the ball on the ground. But again, those 50-50 balls go the Cardinals' way. And Declan Wilkie will settle and get their changes through the midfield. So we talked about that at the start. Hubie was the more sophisticated substitution pattern as the Cardinals are substituting their offensive midfielders through the X at midfield, not all the way through the substitution box. It saves them a little bit of time, a little bit of energy. It actually can hang up some offensive players on the defensive end. They're not easily able to hitch a ride.
Yep.
And here we're going to have Steele with a cross check to the head. He got away with a push and then followed it up really quickly with a cross check to the head. So he'll go in the sin bin and feel shame.
I appreciate the aggression, though. I think that's a really good defense. I think that, the offensive guy was a little bit smaller than him, which sometimes does not help you as a defender. But I appreciate the aggressiveness. But just puts his team down for about a minute here.
I think he gave him a push.
Is that right?
I think he
Push
gave him.
with
I think
possession?
he
Okay,
gave,
so 30 seconds.
gave
then.
the
All
tee,
right.
which I thought the first. I thought Burke was going to get the flag on the first push.
So the Cardinals go on their first extra man opportunity of the evening. Starting at 2-3, they're working a wheel on the near side. Find inside, and that's going to be a goal every time.
That's easy.
Chris Heitmiller gets a lot of time right there, making a quick cut off the crease, and he buries low on Desmond's low right.
It's a good EMO opportunity. And when I say EMO, it's extra man opportunity. And that was well done by the BG offense right there. Easy dip and dunk right in the middle. Going back to what you're saying, Corey, as far as the changes through the midfield here, it's almost like changing on the fly with hockey. It's very easy. You're in and out of the play. Doesn't disrupt the play, and it just makes the game a lot faster.
Cardinals quickly into the offensive end, work it behind, look for cutters from up top. Krikorian, back left. He draws Kerr. Kerr tries to get a lift, feed into the middle,
Clark.
and sniping the low corner is Dawson Clark for his second goal.
Well-placed shot right there. Definitely faked high, went low. Well done. But
so two
Bedford's going to allow that. That's going to be a very long day for the Bedford Bulldogs.
This is what happens with BG. You're playing them good. You're playing them hard. It's a close game. And next thing you know, you look up and you're down by 4. And for not a great run, it's just the way they play.
Yeah, and those two quick goals by the Cardinals put them up 5-1. Brady Burke on the ground ball from the face-off win from Roberto. Steps in the box. 1 minute remaining here in the first quarter. And Maniello slows it down. Will Kramer steps it in.
I'd like to see a little urgency from the Bulldogs here. We've got 41 seconds left. I'd like to see someone take it to the cage here. Make it a game here.
Are you looking for last shot here, Hubie? Are you going to burn a little time and give your defense a rest?
Bottom line is that anytime under 1 minute, you're going to the cage no matter what. I don't care what seconds are. Right? It's just you need to get the ball in the basket.
And Will Kramer does just that. Can't get it to go as Zach Connerty makes the save. Stood high on that near post. Ground ball goes up and out. Aiden Ahern into the offensive end. Finds his attackman. 5 seconds to go here. Drive hard by Clark.
Get a bump.
Lefty. Doesn't get it off in time. So the Cardinals will close out the first quarter with a 5-1 lead. And those two quick goals really made a huge difference there at the end of the quarter. That 4-goal lead is significantly different from a mental standpoint versus a 2-goal lead.
Yeah, they were playing them tough. They still are playing them tough. Like to see them smooth out a few things when it comes to their clear game. And see a little more success and a little more physicality out there. It'd be nice to see them come down and get their midfielders involved in the clear, which you've done a lot more games with Bedford than I have this year, but their clear on the midfield side have always seemed to lack the energy. They don't seem to have much of a scheme going as Bedford in years past used to run a Syracuse clear where they V-cut towards the down towards the ball, whichever side the ball was coming on. We see a lot more mired in the middle there, which is going to make it easier for the opposition to ride and clog things up for them.
So credit to the Cardinals, too, in their ride strategy. Number one, it's an aggressive approach to any 50-50 ball, as Hubie was talking about earlier. They're making every effort they can to make sure that those are challenged and uncomfortable situations for the Bulldogs. The second thing they're doing is that off ride. So the 3 attackmen are across the field at about the 40 or 45-yard line, and their midfielders are backing them right up. They're like linebackers in football. They're looking for those seams. They're looking for anybody that might break through. So it's a tough clear for them, for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, we used to call that a zone ride, basically. You bring the guys up, and the 3 attackmen split the field into thirds. You're responsible for your third. You don't let anybody in a white jersey get through. And when they press over the 50 with the ball, you press up on them as best you can. But they are clogging things up well. And as I said to you in the prior broadcast, they have a tendency of any Coach Cameron coach team is going to have guys on somebody. They are not allowed to stand there and look at themselves or look at the box. They have assignments, and they all do it very well.
So we go back to the face-off X. We have Murphy in again against Roberto. Quick win to Michael Kiley. He looks across.
I just don't understand that. They've got to have guys on either side. Ooh.
He will shoot. He will score.
John Sullivan.
Goal, number 12.
John
Sullivan.
Sullivan, the long stick midfielder, will cash in there on a quick feedback. Yeah, it's tough. So that strategy along the wing, Hubie, you picked it out, right? That was an easy win for Murphy. Pulled it back for Kiley on that sideline. We see Enners
guy the entire time. Again, when it's a 50-50 ball, and we have a situation where I think we've got 8 face-offs, and out of 8 face-offs, it's been 4-4. Wing play is so important, so important.
So they're
can't just let your guy just be alone.
Bulldogs' long stick midfielder was shading the defensive end, was trying to prevent that fast break, as Murphy is traditionally pretty dominant at the face-off X. But in this case, you're leaving that wing wide open, so it makes it a little bit easier for them to gain that possession.
So Sullivan, as I mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast, he will shoot, he will score, he knows what to do with the ball out there. He's one of 2 West Point commits on this team, Dawson Clark being the second, and he's going to play there. He's going to, may not as a freshman, but he will.
Crank here by Clark, as you were just mentioning. The West Point commit gets his hat trick on the same exact spot as his last goal, was stinging that low right corner.
You love that low right corner. I think they've been doing some coaching on that, where the Bedford goalie is going to be most susceptible for any sort of goal.
Well, strangely enough, Dawson has been nursing a hamstring injury for a better part of the season, and for maybe the 4 or 5 games in the middle of the season, they didn't have him out on the field playing at all. He was only on EMO, and they literally planted him in that same spot, the same spot he was down here when he did that low to high, and that's where he just loves to just let it loose.
Big ready shooter.
So here we go. We saw them change up their face-off strategy as Kerr was taking that face-off with the pole.
They're putting it in the same exact spot, though, Corey.
They are.
Bedford needs that.
It's a problem.
Way better wing play in order for them to be competitive in this game right now.
The make it take it strategy is quite rewarding when you score a goal and you get the ball back immediately. And we see another one here. Strong lefty move by Declan Wilkie as he got by his defender top side, pulled lefty and found the back of the net. So quickly here in the last, 4 minutes of play, 4 quick goals put the Bishop Girton Cardinals up 8-1.
Slowly but quickly, we now have a 7-goal deficit.
Slowly but quickly.
And you think, like I said, you think you're playing okay, and you look up and oh my goodness.
But I have to say, it's a really nice turnout after COVID. The Bedford side is packed full of students, and I think the BG side is also packed full of students. Tons of parents out here. It's great to see post-COVID.
Little rain has started this evening. There were some storms that rolled through earlier, so some umbrellas have come out in the stands.
Yeah, that first semifinal game, Pinkerton at Exeter, they escaped without having to delay like we did on Saturday, 90-minute delay here against Sauhegan. But that rain started to come down very quickly towards the end, and thankfully they got it in.
So Maniello is killing a little bit of clock, giving his defenses a bit of a rest. He finds Steele in the middle. Quick pass into Arbusto, and he shoots offside hip. And that was a pretty little goal there. Steele finds the cutting Arbusto.
All right, take a poll here. Was that a set play, guys?
Look, I think it's a set play between the I believe they're three seniors there.
The three-man stack up top, and kind of just dipsied it after they got defended. And
Yeah, I think Augusto's just doing some circles there in the middle and looking for the quick feed. But that's the whole thing. Once he gets that rock, he's got to let it go, and which he did. And really set off the BG goalie there.
Turned and fired and found the back of the net. Now this time, good eat by Quinlan Kerr as he took the Declan Wilkie crank shot right off the leg.
Well done.
And the backup goes to Evan Schmidt as he chased out to the midfield line.
Well done.
As the shots are rare to come all the way out to the midfield. It's a heads-up play by Evan Schmidt to come out and get closest to that ball when it went out, where it went out, as possession is awarded on a shot in that manner. Schmidt takes it behind now, gets it to Greer.
Interesting to see how Derek Greer can fare against these much larger long pole defenders.
Larger and quicker. I thought it was his speed and change of direction that really helped him on Saturday against Sauhegan.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, it did.
Clearing pass now up top from Sullivan. They get it quickly to McGovern. McGovern, feet up top.
Transition.
Good checks there. Get the ball on the ground. And this is where you need to have the Bulldogs come up with it, and they do. Quinlan Kerr comes up with that GB, or ground ball. Pushes and settles.
Great
Looks
ground
for a
ball
little
right there
help.
by Bedford. Great ground ball.
They step it in the offensive box, and they'll get a timeout.
I don't know if you guys.
Timeout right there.
Go ahead, Jimmy.
Oh, just very, very smart timeout. I think that, Bedford really wanted to get into a set offense right there. Ball got down. BG's very, very good about getting the ball in and out into the offensive zone. Bedford did a great job riding, got the ball back, and I think it's really smart. It's 2-8 right now. I think that if Bedford can get a good possession here for the next 2 minutes, put another goal up, make it a much more competitive game here.
Yeah, I don't know if you noticed, and you don't see this really at all at the high school level, but immediately when that ball got picked up by Bedford and they were on their horse to come back and get a break here, the first guy closest to the field is already at the cone to come off the bench, and BG has a defender on the Bedford side of the box ready to come on. That would have been a fast break, 4-on-3, but by the time the ball got to the box, BG had their fourth defender back, thus prompting the timeout, not only for that reason, but obviously to get a good possession here.
That's a great point right there, going back to what we're talking about, how Bishop Girton actually has a very good switching, very good, almost like a hockey style, changing on the fly type of a transition, which is so important. Fastest game on 2 feet, got to have a really good transition.
Love it, love it. And they're able to make up that space, right? So you have a 20-yard substitution box. If you go in on your one side, your defending substitute can go in 20 yards down the field on the defensive end. So you're making up that difference in a split second, and it helps prevent those odd man type situations, as you were pointing out, Roger.
Yeah, and again, it's an assignment. I'm sure every attackman from the first attackman to the 10th attackman on this 35-man squad for the playoffs, normally a 47-man squad for BG, knows that when transition's going against us and they're clearing, you get the closest guy going to the box. They all know that.
So Maniello starts out for the Bulldogs. Pops it over near side to Sean Toscano.
Sounds like the crowd's getting into it here, Corey.
They sure are. You like to see it.
Let's see Bedford put one in here.
Supporting their classmates. Toscano isos behind. He's checked there by Nathan Kane. Double team comes quickly. Finds a cutter in the middle. Doesn't find a stick, though, and Arbusto chases down the loose ball.
We thought that was interesting Saturday against Sauhegan. You and I both commented how little we saw of Sean Toscano. I think he only had 3 shifts the entire game.
There goes that same, you're absolutely right. Toscano, key member of their offense early on, and seemed to be short-shifted in that last game. Quick transition opportunity here. Fake down low. Good hustle on the ground ball.
It's great defense by Bedford right there. Stuck his ground. Took the shot.
Enters, comes away with the ground ball and finds Desmond. Near side, Brady Burke. Burke, midfield. Josh Beaton.
Great clear.
Beaton legs it through the 30 to 30 midfield and finds Evan Schmidt to settle things down. So to your point, they were able to clear successfully, finding a cutting midfielder right through the middle, leg it through a few checks and settle things down. Arbusto to steal up top.
We also have multiple dogs in attendance today.
What kinds are we looking at, Hubie?
Seems to be a lot of.
Yeah.
Wow, good individual effort there by Magnus Steele. Came
I'm not going to
along.
take away from the game. That was a great goal right there. Great goal.
Drove righty, drew the double team. Inside roll, kept it in his right hand, and high bouncer slipped between the legs of Connerty. So they pull back to within 5 goals, 8-3 with 6:33 left here in the first half.
He had nothing there. He had nothing there. Connerty had that pipe near side completely covered. He's a big kid, so he's covering a lot of net. But Magnus seems to find a way. He had a very similar goal on Saturday, coming down this side here on the near side to our right.
Big, strong kid, makes some space for himself and pays off there.
50-50 ball here. Scrum out there.
Got to put him on.
Yeah, tell you what, I mean, if Bedford can continue to do that on the face-off X, if they can continue getting those 50-50 ground balls, it could be a much more even game than we're calling right now.
And that's the key, is to make it a competitive situation, right? We saw the wing difference on the far side earlier, and if you're not shoulder to shoulder, those are not competitive situations. Drive here, shot is wide by Tim Kiley.
So, Corey, they just put in Dumont, Brady Dumont, who we mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast. Hasn't seen a touch so far this game. Let's see what they can do with this guy. Like we said, he lit it up with 6 goals in that first BG matchup earlier this season.
Cardinals have bounced into a 1-4-1 here, so 1 midi up top, 4 across the midfield here. So 2 people on the crease, 2 out on the wings, and 1 behind.
They're looking for skip passes here, Corey. That's what they're looking for. Looks like Dumas trying to get that skip pass for the lefty shot.
Tough defense there.
Great defense.
Doesn't get penalized. Slide came, helped out.
Great clear.
And that's that big boy clear that you're talking about, as Andrew McGee legs it out, runs through a few stick checks, but gets it into the offensive end without issue.
Here's Bedford Bulldogs' answer to Brady Dumont. Freshman Kuleza.
Kuleza gets checked several times, but keeps possession. Finds Maniello at the midfield. Now over to Kramer. Cardinals are really extending their defense out, being aggressive all throughout their defensive end.
I'll tell you what, Aiden Ahern on BG number 7 is he's tenacious.
Sure is.
Goodness. He does not let anybody breathe out there.
Now he's going to my old stomping grounds, Villanova.
There you go.
As you know.
Wildcats, baby.
Kramer absorbing check after check, finally draws a penalty. Arbusto near side. Maniello cranks wide. It's irrelevant on the backup as the flag was down. So the Bulldogs will see their first man-up opportunity.
I like to see Maniello actually take that in a little bit. I think he has the size. And he's got the skill to maybe do a little fake there, maybe a quick dodge and get close to the net. I don't want to see a 30-footer here.
Yeah, he's done that more than once when this season the Bulldogs have had a chance to double dip on a personal foul, and he seems to hasten along and doesn't take the best quality shot.
Schmidt comes from behind, finds Maniello. Now they spin it up top. Likely pass it around 4 or 5 times, and then we'll see some cutting action.
You're going to see Greer very active in the middle. Looks like he's coming out.
As they are man up, they're trying to draw one and dump it quickly because somebody's open on the field at all points of this opportunity. The pass gets a little wide there. And as you've seen before, John Sullivan with exceptional hustle. We had a stick thrown there. It looked like it slipped out of Magnus Steele's hand as he was trying for a check. Surprised that wasn't penalized. A little behind the back shot goes off the pipe from Dawson Clark. He pays the price.
Going to like that pass, or not going to like that shot right there.
Paid the price too as he took a seat. Steele came back and popped him.
Could have been a flag there.
Yeah, you know what though? That's right on the crease. Looked like a legal hit. Help comes here. Kiley shoots high and wide, but it's backed up by the Cardinals, so they will reset.
The thing about BG is that any ball on the carpet gets immediately scooped up and put into the offensive zone. No doubt about it. There's no dilly-dallying whatsoever.
We've killed off the penalty now, so we're back to 6-on-6 action. Taken behind now by Chris Heitmiller. Inside roll. Ball is on the ground, and now Brady Burke picks it up. Spins it near side. Finds Henrishon. And the attack quickly back.
And he was asked what he thought was Bedford's most improved player on the team throughout the season. And he said Desmond. He said Desmond got off a slow start, which he did, and he really came on strong. And having had two sons as goalies, one that's an assistant coach on the far side of the field right now, who went 61-0 here at Bedford, I have to agree with him. I've seen some really good saves by him, and not just just standing there and taking it off the chest. His positioning's gotten better. He's better on the arc. He follows the dodges better. So give him a big attaboy, because he's keeping Bedford close right now.
I'll agree with you on that. I think his positioning is spot on. I think in the riding game, or I'm sorry, in the clearing game, he's taken his time. I mean, maybe in the first 2 minutes he was a little bit rushed, but I think that he understands that, hey, I've gotten 30 shots on me already. I got to really sit down and make this this clearing situation my own deal. So he's really setting the tone. I think he's showing a lot of gumption, and I think he's showing a lot of leadership.
Gumption for sure. He was injured in the second contest between these two teams earlier this year as he took a shot high off the head and needed to take some time away from a couple of games for concussion-type symptoms. In his absence, Gabriel Tompkinson stepped up quite well, had some key saves of his own in those interim games. But yes, I agree. Desmond has come on strong at the later half of the season, made some key saves to keep them in games and to preserve leads. In this case, that last one, high heat by John Krikorian, he ate up, gave the Bulldogs another opportunity here. So Luke and Tony now makes an appearance on attack for the Bulldogs. Gets it to Toscano up high. He draws his man up. They look to ISO on the shorty. Gets inside.
BG's very physical right now.
They sure are.
Defensive end here.
Pushing out on those drives from the outside in the alley and cutting down those angles, making those offensive midfielders uncomfortable. Kuliza behind now.
You know what, Corey? I mean, this is, as an offensive guy, this is the time that you kind of want to lean in. Maybe this is when you start thinking about your football days and just start bulldodging down there. That'll get the defenseman to start thinking about.
One of your favorites, the bulldodge. Put your shoulder down and run through those checks.
Absolutely. Make them work.
Pass inside to Toscano. He got eaten up on the checks. And Aiden Ahern comes away with the ground ball. A nifty little pass to himself off the ground. Shot here is wide by Zach Kuchalakos.
Ahern's got some legs, huh? Jeez.
Sure does.
So fast.
Shot now. Saved by Desmond,
save.
as we were talking about earlier. Burke can't come up with the ground ball. Quickly back into the middle on those loose ball situations. Odd man scramble situations.
Great stick.
But a great tip here by Hadley. Nick Hadley gets it up quickly to Greer. Bounce pass. Excuse me, that's Luke and Tony. Luke and Tony's shot goes high and wide.
That's a good possession shot right there.
Yeah, but he stepped in the crease, so it's going to be the Cardinals' ball.
Oh.
Cardinals look up top. 3 seconds left in the half. Desperation gets into a stick. Shot is wide. Come away with a halftime lead of 8-3. We'll take about a 10-minute break and rejoin you for the second half here of semifinal action at Division Cross from Bedford High School.
Ready to rock.
This is be great if I could turn this around.
Welcome back into Bedford High School. We're going to bring you the second half action here of Division I semifinal action between the Bedford Bulldogs and the Bishop Girton Cardinals. Cardinals have an 8-3 lead at halftime. Talked about several of the contributing factors of why that 5-goal lead stands here. Keys to the second half, Hubie, what do you think? What are we going to see from each team? What adjustments are we going to have out here, and what can we observe?
Well, going back to the second quarter here, I think Bedford did a really good job taking care of the ball when it gets down to the offensive zone. I sound like a broken record, but here on the faceoffs, it has to be a 50-50 ball. I'd like to see both wingers on one another to make it a little more even. But if you saw, going back to the second quarter, BG really didn't have a lot of possession time. Bedford really controlled the possession. I think that's what's going to be a winning factor here.
Face-off controlled eventually by Roberto. That pass there was almost picked off from
Scary
Enners
pass
over to Maniello, but they do get possession. Roger, what are you looking for in the second half here?
Yeah, I'd like to see them clear up their clearing game and their riding game. They need to be a little more sharp on both parts of that game. I'd like to see them clog up the middle a little bit more, and I'd like to see them play a little more of this type of offense here. Slow it down, which is what BG does not want to see happen. They don't want a slow pace, and see what they can do. Find their spots here.
So what do we got? A pinch 2-2-2 cut here by Toscano, and he
is.
scores. Feed by
right
Greer.
There. Great cut. Caught BG sleeping right there.
Yeah, the sophomore midfielder takes the cut from goalie's high left, caught the feed from Greer, and is able to bury offside high on Connerty. And Roger and I were talking as the halftime was closing up. If the Bulldogs can pop in 1 or 2 goals here at the start of the second half, they're going to give themselves a chance.
Yeah, I don't think Coach Cameron wanted it to be this close at halftime.
Not at all. He definitely doesn't like it when his defensemen are caught sleeping right there.
So Kylie bobbles the ball, gets it back quickly. They make substitutions through the midfield.
I like to see Bedford defense press out a little bit more on these offensive guys here.
McGovern pops it behind. A little more aggressive. Maybe some of those early slides like we were talking about in the first half.
Too much
shot here. Saved by Desmond.
Great save. I think he's going to have those all day, fellas. I think he's going to have them all day.
Looked like he was screened out, too. Long pass to midfield. Maniello picks that out. He gets swarmed there. And he's going to beat him out, though.
He's got to get it out.
And he does. They'll step it in. Greer now. He'll settle and wait for his teammates.
We think of a clear like that, guys, where Desmond goes long to the box like that. You think that's something that they changed at halftime?
Well, so the attackmen are pretty aggressively riding. They had pretty much a one-on-one across that back line, so that could have been an adjustment there. Shot here by Maniello's eaten up as he's pretty far out and pretty tough angle.
Yeah, I'd like to see a better shot there. That was not a good time and space shot.
Connerty saved that without too much of an issue. And the Cardinals will set up their offense. Kylie gets in. Shot, sticks it high. Desmond couldn't catch up with that one. And Kylie has his first goal of the night.
Zero equal pressure there on the hips. Nothing that Kylie really needed to do there but load the gun, pick a spot.
Ran through the check.
Like he just ran down there and shot it. Like there was nothing there. As a defenseman, you have to get on the hands. Got to get on the hands.
And we talked about the quick slides. I didn't see even a slow slide there.
So 9:22 left here in the third quarter. These teams have exchanged goals. And the Cardinals lead 9-4.
This face-off strategy, again, I just don't understand.
Yep. Procedure on Roberto gives possession to the Cardinals. So they pop it behind and work it back up top. Gabord. Back over to Tim Kiley. Kiley dodges inside. Lefty goes high. Got back to his strong hand. But his shot sails over Desmond's head. Wilkie
I like how
here
Desmond
feeds
came out
inside.
to attest that.
Yeah.
It's a good step by the goalie.
Gets the ground ball again. Back up top to Clark. Now to Kiley. Kiley to his right. Shot too high.
Is Ahern playing attack now? Is that the
That's number
defenseman?
2. That's number 2, not 7. Feed inside. Goes off of Kerr's helmet. As Connor Bouvier tried a behind the back shot. And looks like Coach Cameron will take a timeout. He might not have been pleased with that behind the back effort there by Bouvier.
Let's see what's going on over at that bench.
He's got his hands out, pretty much asking why. What are we doing with that shot?
He is
good D
not
by
a happy
Kerr
coach.
as he was step for step with Bouvier. Got his big melon in the way and prevented that shot from getting in on Desmond. So the Cardinals will reset from behind after this timeout.
I had a coach in college that actually coached at West Point, and I think there's a couple of these kids that are going to West Point. I will tell you what, 26 goals, you're up by 26 goals, that's still not the time to take a behind-the-back shot. So the fact that we've had 2 here with 5 goals, yeah, Coach Cameron is definitely not happy right now. He needs these guys to really, this is business mode, this is a business trip up here in Bedford, and they really need to make things stick.
When you can see Coach Cam's complexion go from a fairly white complexion to a red complexion in a matter of about 10 seconds on that possession, you can tell. You can honestly tell.
So he's going to want his teammates or team to come out here, stick to the basics, overhand shots, sidearm shots. Although there is a time and a place for a backhand or behind the back shot, I don't think that was it. We'll see how they brush it back up, get back to the basics. Fired around their 2-3-1.
There is a time and place, but that time and place better be a goal.
Fair enough. Little scoop pass here to Clark. Clark directs some traffic. He's going to look for his cutters.
Off the
dive
post.
Out front. Won't go. Flag is down, though. And the Bulldogs will get a call.
I don't agree with that call, to be honest.
I'm not sure I saw it either here, Hubie.
I think that the push was what can the defender do?
It's going to be a slash, Hubie.
Oh, it's going to be a slash?
Yeah.
I think he might have got him in the melon. Yeah, hit to the head is what the referee reiterated to goalie Matt Desmond. So the Cardinals will go on their extra man opportunity here. Spin it around. Behind now, back up top. Stepping in is Heitmiller, back over. Cut from behind and scoring is John Krikorian as he comes high on the left side. Caught that pass, quick shot, and a quick goal.
I think
Cardinals
that's the first
go up
time we've called his name tonight. He has had some extremely acrobatic goals this season in a number of different games I've seen him play. But this is one thing you can't do. You can't give them extra man offensive sets to work with. They just eat you up.
Got to stay on the field. Murphy wins another faceoff. Quickly into the offensive end. Krikorian goes behind.
That's 2 EMO goals for BG today out of 3 penalties.
66% is not too shabby, right? Again, substitutions through the midfield box. They wait for their offensive teammates. Connor Gabord looks to ISO from behind. Checked there by Magnus Steele. Up top to Bouvier. Now wide near side, Dawson Clark. Looks like the Bedford defense has bounced into a zone defense at this point in time.
Yeah, good call.
By the zone defense, we mean that they're actually not playing man-to-man. They're actually stuck in a box itself for
Good
each
help.
and every zone. In
Go
which
back.
case, when the ball passes to one another on the BG side, you as a defenseman are just staying in that one zone.
Clark was aiming for that low corner again.
Notice a little bit of frustration there from Bishop Girton with this zone.
Sure.
Well, usually, against the zone, it's a shooter's day. So a lot of BG has the offensive players on the Bishop Girton side. They all have really good shots. So if they understand that they can have time and room with maybe 5 feet in front of their defenders, they should be letting it fly right now.
We're seeing they're not aggressively playing defense behind the goal line extended either. So that is the 10-yard line here in this case. They're not going behind, and they get the turnover as Parker Henrishon picks up the ground ball, legs it out, and there's that excellent hustle as they got him to turn back, fire it back to Desmond. And his long outlet pass is going to go out of bounds. So they put in a lot of work in that zone defense. They get the ball on the ground, and then they turn it over on the clear attempt.
Not sure why the goalie Desmond and Burke aren't at least trying to work a two-man clear up the sideline there. They're not getting pressured, and they've got opportunities, but they're just not taking them.
I agree with you on that. I think, you have 30 seconds or so, and they just need to take their time and make sure that they take care of the ball, get it over the half line.
Crank shot here beats Desmond low as Clark has his 4th of the game. There was that time and space that you were talking about, Hubie. Time and space meaning nobody's coming to him quickly. He's got plenty of room. He can crank that shot and goes low on Desmond.
Yeah, I thought Desmond was going to have that one.
Rather even scoring for the Cardinals as Clark has 4, but the rest of the goals are spread 1 each across a bevy of Cardinal players. Murphy comes down and rips one off of the crossbar. Bounces all the way back out to the 40-yard line. Ground ball goes to the Cardinals, and they'll reset. So right before that goal, I was thinking to myself that if you do have a hot goalkeeper like Matt Desmond in that first half, making some key saves on outside shots, you can afford to go into that zone defense. Defender here falls down, and right on the doorstep is John Krikorian. So we've said his name again on his 2nd goal of the game. He also has an assist, and that was just an unfortunate misstep for the Bulldog defender as he stumbled and created the odd man situation.
Yeah, that could have easily been a turnover there, Corey. I think that was a little lucky, a little luck here on the BG side, but the 22 took care of the ball there.
Well, they got to bring up.
Krikorian gets time on the crease, makes a fake or two. That's going to be a tough one to stop for Desmond. Murphy comes away with the ground ball again. Quickly odd man situation, and that was quick. Dawson Clark gets his 5th of the game. And that, Hubie, that's why they're trying to shade defense on the wings here. They're trying to prevent that immediate fast break opportunity. And they had Kerr on the faceoff as a long stick, and that's exactly what you're trying to prevent. With him there on the faceoff.
I watched him on those 2 faceoffs, and he's conceding the faceoff, but he's not getting right on top of Murphy to get either a trail check or to disrupt him on a ground ball. So, it's one or the other if you're going to do that.
Roberto gets possession. They look near side. Ashburner can't handle the long pass from Henrishon. And that ride is successful again, but here goes a yard sale check from Kerr. Failure to advance by the Cardinals, so the Bulldogs will get possession. So that failure to advance is they did not step it into the offensive box within 10 seconds of getting into the offensive half of the field.
Now, this is what the Bulldogs need. They need to start getting a little energy here, a little anger, playing some body. It's the only way you're going to slow this green team down here.
13-4, the Cardinals lead with 3.5 left here in the third quarter. Nate Kane immediately steps out and shades the right side. Toscano draws a double, pops it to Kramer. Behind to Greer. Greer backs it out. Looks to go one-on-one.
They definitely need to take care of the ball here. You know, they need to give their defense a little bit of a rest here. I like to see a little bit more ball movement here. There's a lot of one-on-one right here.
Greer gets in, but his shot at the feet of Connerty is saved. He had a great opportunity there. And now Sullivan runs through a couple of checks. Spins away from pressure and finds an open Connor Gabord substituting in from the box. Finds in the middle Dawson Clark, but that's saved by Desmond.
Yeah, I think that Bedford needs to step up on Dawson Clark. I think he's just having a field day right now. Once you get a couple in there, the confidence goes up, and I think that's what he's feeling right now.
Enders falls down on the D, but forces the turnover as that pass behind goes over the head of the attackman. So Bedford comes back on the clear.
Tenacious ride by BG.
That's right. You know, they got to have their midfielders cutting towards the ball instead of away from the ball. It's a tough pass to make through traffic.
Seems like no one wants the ball on the Bedford side.
Yeah, it almost seems that way sometimes on their clear, Hubie. It just everybody waits for somebody else to do something else, and it's not incorporating much of the midfield on their clears.
Gabord finds Kylie substituting in from the box. Dodges down the right alley, kicks it behind.
Could have been a Ward right there.
Back up top. Looks like some of the substitute players have checked in now for the Cardinals. Gabord gets back to his right. Checked high by Kerr.
Good
Getting
lift.
The lift in there. Excellent job to keep possession of that ball. Those are solid checks by Kerr. Just over a minute to go here in the third quarter. Gabord gets triple teamed. His shot goes out of bounds.
Sorry, Corey. This is when Coach Cameron starts to filter in his second, third line players. Leaves his starters out there, but starts to filter them in. Expect to see more of that as the fourth starts as well.
Clark. Pass to the wing there, and that shot's good by Brady Dumont, who you mentioned at the top of the broadcast is
freshman.
Pretty much a 1A option, 1B option on this talented line of attack for the Cardinals. They push the ball through the defense into the back of the net, and the Cardinals have a 14-4 lead.
Yeah, you take out Wilkie and you plug in Dumont. You take out Krikorian, put Clark back in. It's just a rotating talent pool, and the depth chart is so thick on the attack for them.
Murphy there gets the ball checked out by Nick Hadley.
Wide open net.
Hadley. Great roll dodge away from pressure. Far side, he looked for Greer, but he turned it over. And now, not Sullivan, that's Matthew Cranny. Gets it all the way up for Dumont. Running through some checks here and scoring is Michael Kiley. As the Bedford Bulldogs were going for stick checks instead of body, and with 15 seconds left here in the third quarter, the Bulldogs are trailing by 11, 15-4.
Yeah, straight through 3 stick checks. Just like they did on the clear with Sullivan here. They just don't body up. They just try to put the gate down, and it's just not going to work against these guys.
But you want to see the Bulldogs go for body there, as you mentioned, Roger. If you're coming on a slide, you need to come strong to body with a body check. You don't go for their sticks. You don't go for their fakes. Slide hard. Try to put them on the ground. Face off here. Roberto scoops up the ground ball. Great hustle. He's double teamed quickly. Back up top, he finds Andrew McGee.
Nicely done.
McGee steps it in, but doesn't have time for a shot, and we end the third quarter with a 15-4 lead for the Bishop Girton Cardinals.
Yeah, a couple things happen when you actually start taking the body instead of just doing the stick check. One, first of all, intimidation. Two, gets the crowd into it. And with a really nice student body out here right now, I think that they would be getting into the game a little bit more, especially at a 15-4 deficit here. So I really like to see a little bit more physicality coming out of the Bedford Bulldogs here in the fourth quarter. A lot better, maybe just time and space opportunities. I think they get it down to their offensive zone and they just go right to the cage. And I think, when you have this large of a deficit, it's really important to maybe slow it down just to, give your defense a little bit of a reprieve.
Well, Bedford came into Division I in 2015. They've only been in the semifinal game twice, tonight being the second time. The only other time they were in the semifinals was against Pinkerton back in 2016, and they lost that game pretty handedly. But these boys here know nothing of that. And I think to tag along with what you said, Hubie, they really need to come out strong here in this fourth quarter, finish up strong, prove to themselves that they can, at least get back into the game somewhat with a few scores here, and just hold BG down. If they know anything about this team at all, they're going to start seeing the first teamers leave the field. He's going to, Coach Cameron has a 35 man roster out there, and he's going to use them tonight. He's going to give these starters some rest because they're going to be playing Exeter in 4 days. So watch for that to happen here.
Yeah, I think we have a goalie change actually on the BG side.
Looks like Dylan Stewart has checked in for the Cardinals. Face-off won by Roberto.
So Roberto's holding his own today. Bedford just won their 9th face-off, so it's not like Murphy's just taking this away from them and giving it to BG. Bedford's
I agree.
Doing all right.
Even the ones that he did not win, I think there was a chance for Bedford to get possession. But that's why the ground balls are so important right now. I wish we had the tally for ground balls, but I think BGB winning on that one.
Kramer makes some dodges near side, looks far side, had the pass there, but it goes wide. Arbusto was ready and waiting.
Right idea.
I like that look. It's a good look.
Sure. He did have a step on his left side, but wanted to get back to his right. Sullivan now down, finds Dumont. Shot goes wide. Lefty was waiting for it in that quick man-up opportunity. Sullivan goes back, tries to take advantage of the substituting Bulldogs. Running through checks, but getting stoned on the doorstep was Michael Kiley as Desmond comes up with a high offside save. Looks up near side, and that pass goes out of bounds.
Wow.
It's going to be one of the. He's done that. It's been a great save, and can't handle on the clear.
They just haven't been able to get the clear.
So the Cardinals set their offense. McGovern dodges righty. No slide, but circles back, gets it to Heitmiller. Other side, the Clark, his shot is no good. Backed up behind. And will be brought in by Krikorian.
They're in a 1-4-1 right now, BG.
They find in the middle. Clark, his shot is wide. Dodging from the wings, trying to get some cuts off the crease. Two people inside there, picking for each other, cutting high, cutting low.
I'd like to see Clark, maybe have a right hand right there.
Drive here, kicked behind. Krikorian looks for cutters.
Good flash by the defenseman.
Kick high. Kylie again gets in, and nobody takes body, so
No.
he's going to score. Again, he ran through about 4 stick checks.
Got to take the body.
And cashes in, puts the Cardinals up 16-4.
Yeah, when you see your low-end defender, Brady Burke, sliding adjacent off goal line extended with no help from the inside on a slide, things are starting to break down there, and you can't have that. They've got 2 timeouts in their pocket. They're chances are not going to make up a 12-goal deficit here, especially now that there's a running clock. Call timeout and give these guys a break here. Let them catch their breath and try and body up a little bit.
You mentioned that lacrosse rule there for high school lacrosse for the boys game. As soon as a team goes up by 12 goals, we do have running time here for the remainder of the game, despite narrowing the margin. So Magnus Steele draws a crowd.
Timeout.
And he's going to get a timeout as Coach Joe Hansmeyer saw his midfielder in some trouble. The junior battling with 3 Cardinals around him. And Coach Joe Hansmeyer takes a strategic timeout to retain that possession.
Yeah, I think this type of situation, you got to get the boys together, get them into a group and say, listen, we've got 8 minutes and 54 seconds left. It's a 0-0 ball game. Let's go out there like it's 0-0. Doesn't matter about the score right now. I want you guys to go out. I want you to have pride of your team, pride of your school, and really, have good head on your shoulders and get out there and play your toughest lacrosse for the next 8 minutes and 54 seconds. That's so crucial right now.
Yeah, there's a number of seniors, starters out there. This could be their last game. This could be their last 8.5 minutes or so at Bedford High School, and you want to kind of give them that pump to maybe recharge the batteries here for the remaining time in this game and try and make a showing.
And again, for our virtual audience out there, we do have a packed stadium here. Great turnout, both parents and student body. And again, for 8 minutes, let's put your heart, soul, and tears and blood onto the field here.
Despite the rain has really kind of steadied out here, and they're hanging in there.
The students seem to be enjoying the rain a little bit more than the parents, as the umbrellas are over the parent section and the students are simply standing in the rain. Good for them.
Probably feels pretty good after today.
I would imagine. So the ball comes behind to Luke and Tony. They look for a cutting steal. Pass is too low, can't be handled. Luke and Tony chases down that ground ball, gets pushed from behind. So he'll pick up that ground ball.
Yeah, Luke and Tony, one of those seniors. To see maybe something.
Tries lefty, gets the high, catches the stick off the head. So flags are down. And that will be blown dead on the ground ball near side by Zach Kuchalakos. But the Bulldogs will go back on the man-up opportunity with 8:10 left here in the game on a slash to Luke and Tony's head. Extra man opportunity for the Bulldogs, and see if they can cash in.
Well, that's BG's first penalty of the game, is it not?
I think the Bulldogs were on a 30-second push earlier.
Oh, that's
if
right.
I remember correctly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Our stats guys helping out here. Thank you, Roger.
Second EMO of the day.
Quick opportunity to thank the BCTV crew and welcome in our Nashua viewers on ETV. Appreciate the coverage here this evening of this semifinal action.
Bedford.
George Cox and Bill Jennings helping us out here in the booth.
Oh, good pass.
Greer picks it off the pipe. It was a great skip pass backside. Arbusto backs it up. 7 minutes left here. Greer, quick stick is saved there by Stewart as he got down quickly on that opportunity from Greer.
I'd like to see a better angle on that shot. Again, you're on EMO. Got to work for that shot right there in the middle of the hash marks here.
Nick Dahl does well to dodge a few riding attackmen. Legs it into the offensive zone. Dumont now runs away from pressure, finds a wide open cutter in the middle, who is Aiden Lorendo. but his pass was wide and picked off by Max Maniello. Maniello steps it in. They'll reset.
Haven't heard
Flag
much
is
from
down.
Max, huh?
Not sure what the flag is down for, but the flag is down.
Offsides.
And will be blown dead right now. It could have been an offside. We'll see what they are sorting out on the far sideline. But it looks like number 14, Nathan Kane, will be in the sin bin fielding Shane.
Yeah, definitely offsides.
And was he off?
Yeah, they motioned at the bench with the official.
Okay, so another 30-second penalty on the Cardinals gives the Bulldogs an extra man opportunity.
I believe it's a half cleat offsides.
Kramer
Got to
up
get
top.
rotations here.
Maniello, draw one. Here it comes.
I'd like to see a little bit more movement.
There go the cuts. Arbusto pops off the crease, finds Maniello. He'll crank, picks the crossbar, and that goes high and away.
I believe that just hit my Volvo.
As Stewart got a little help from his friend. Kramer back up top. Maniello. And we're quickly back to even strength 6-on-6 lacrosse as they killed off that 30-second penalty.
Did like that play they ran, though, on EMO. It was effective.
Sure. It's a pretty frequent one we've seen this season as they get the cutting Maniello to his strong right hand for a crank. This time Kramer takes a shot, hits two pipes, and it doesn't go in. Maniello takes a step out of bounds, and that'll go to BG. That's a tough shot there by Kramer as he pinged both pipes, and it bounced out. And we have a couple of fans saying double pipe counts, and no, it does not if it doesn't break the plane of the goal. Maniello finds Greer on the crease, but his pass is too high. And with just over 4 minutes to go, BG will get possession in their defensive end, holding a 16-4 lead.
Yeah, Maniello couldn't taken his time on that one. He had time and room.
Had a lot of field in front of him, didn't he, Hubie?
A lot of field in front of him. And again, it's high school lacrosse, but you got to understand time management. You got to understand the point of the game and where you're at. You're down by a lot of goals. Do not give it back to BG to score more right now. Take care of the ball.
Kylie dodges right hand, found a cutter wide open on the crease, but they can't make the connection. Gabord with the shot, that goes high.
Ooh, Bedford ball.
And that's backed up nicely by Desmond.
Great backup.
Kerr will pick up the ball, and they will try to clear. So the off ride quickly is effective as the first pass is too low at the feet of Steele. And again, another failed clear turns into a Cardinal possession.
You can just see the air kind of leaving the Bedford Bulldogs team right now. You hit two posts on one shot, one post on the and now you just kind of sit back and
Kerr trying to get a lift here. Pass goes high, but Bouvier's there for the ground ball. Bouvier dodges to his left hand, found a cutter in the middle, but his pass is too low. Gabord to Kylie, face dodge to his right. Desmond comes up with a save.
Great save.
Solid positioning. Made that save.
All right, you got 2
Look
minutes
easy.
and 30 seconds left. I'd like to see a nice clear here. Get a good clear, get a good possession.
Burke with a spin dodge.
Well done.
Rolled
Burke.
away from pressure. Steps it into the offensive end. Now his pass is low, but
Get out of
picked up
there.
by Arbusto. Arbusto, besides that lone goal, has been somewhat quiet on that set play we saw earlier on the crease play after a timeout. He drives hard. He's going to shoot lefty. No, he's not. He's going to eat it. Come around behind, finds Kramer on the crease, but they can't make the connection.
That was a good look, though. Good look.
Sure
by
was.
Arbusto.
And Gabord picks up the ground ball and runs it all the way end to end. Gets it behind.
Minute 30 left here, fourth quarter.
Substitutions again through the midfield box. Kylie comes to the top center, dodges righty, pops it behind. You see in this frequent pattern as they dodge to an alley, pop it behind to an attackman, looks offside, and then they look for cutters. Good double team here, but Kylie spins to his right and stings one high as he pops in his first of the game. And with just under a minute to go, it's 17-4. Bishop Girton, the clock is running, and we may not see much more action as running time continues.
Yeah, Kylie's first goal, but I bet he's got 6-7 shots on net today, and Desmond has frustrated him several times on that. He's finally due, I guess.
He's quick and crafty there, and has gotten his hands free and created some space, but Desmond has shut him down. Here, Joe Michael chases the ball. 20 seconds left. That ball goes out of bounds. Okay. 15 to go. Desmond gets it back. And he's going to bury the ball here with 10 seconds left. Checks it downfield. That's going to go to the far corner, and time's going to run out here as the Bishop Girton Cardinals take home the semifinal. They'll proceed to the final to face Exeter on Saturday here at Bedford High School, 4:30 in the afternoon. It's been a pleasure to call the game here with Roger Howe and Brian Hubert. Quick scoring summary for the Bulldogs. I'll let you handle the Bishop Girton Cardinals, but the Bulldogs got goals by Sean Toscano, Max Maniello, Connor Arbusto, and Magnus Steele. Unfortunately, it wasn't nearly enough as they lost 17-4. Scoring summary for you, Hubie? Oh, I got it. Never mind. Dawson Clark had 5. Kylie had 3. Krikorian had 2, and then 1 each by Bouvier, Wilkie, Heitmiller, Sullivan, Tim Kylie, Connor Gabord, and Brady Dumont. So the final score here this evening was 17-4. We appreciate you tuning in. Thanks again to the BCTV crew, Bill Jennings, George Cox running the camera, and stats up on the screen. For Roger Howe, Brian Hubert, appreciate your time this evening.
Good job, guys.
Have a good evening. We'll see you next season.
See you next season.
Take care. Well done, Corey.
All right.
PG, I don't have that shit. What are you talking about?